we are talking about, there are other software which analyze the patterns of the people, like sleep patterns and everything, so that helps in designing the products. So it is not just the traditional methods, but now traditional methods are being supported by the new digital methods, or the smart way of doing things for the clinical trials as well. Now, if we move further into the chain of activities which happen in the pharma industry, once you have all the data, you are talking about submission to regulatory authorities. And so all the data is compiled and it is into a dossier, which dossier is then summarized and into expert reports, and then this whole CTD structure or ECTD structure that is submitted to the health authorities. There are labels. If you have a new label, first time label creation, then you have to see what indication would be there, what agency will agree, based on the trials that you have done. And they will also cover, like, the changes which happen during the life cycle management. So all these regulatory responsibilities which happen during the submission. So it was pretty manual when we started career. I started my career in regulatory affairs way back in 1993. And so I mean, many of you were not born also at that time. So yes, it was a very traditional dossier. We used to print them, we used to file them, and it was, I'll not say truckload, but yes, I would say it would a huge room of dossier, one product. That is the kind of submission that we did. That's how it started. Then it became simple digital, like, making it into pen drive, then moving it into the ECTD, which makes navigation easier. And now we are talking about the AI tools which are going to help in authoring and review of the dossiers as well. So it is not just you as regulatory affairs professionals who will create dossiers using AI, but the health authorities will review these dossiers using AI. So that's the kind of work which is going on at this moment. And yes, we cannot be redundant by just staying with the old ways of doing. So we have to evolve, we have to adapt all these things. How you will do AI assisted authoring and review, how you will talk about global harmonization, because today the word is, like, all one. It was earlier there were different countries, different requirements, but now with ICH, the essence of all the regulatory requirements is same throughout. Yes, the presentation may be slightly different, but the essence of the requirements remain same. So in global harmonization, a lot of steps are taking place. ICH was initially only three regions, like US, Europe, and Japan, which came together to make ICH. But now there are so many members, observers to the ICH. There are so many people who are following the same guidelines. So that is a benchmark for quality, efficacy, and safety guidelines, which everybody would like to use. So we are talking about global harmonization, and this is becoming more and more harmonized. Like, I would say earlier it was very different. One country would be very different from the other. Even US was very different from Europe. Okay. And but now there is a lot of harmonization. And in further advances, we are talking about rolling dossiers. So you don't have to start making a dossier when like, everything is available. You can start building a dossier when the first step is there. If your product is developed, you can put it into the dossier. Once your product is manufactured, you can put the data into the dossier. Once the product is stability testing is completed, you can put that data. Once the bioequivalence study is done, you can add that to the dossier. So we are talking about a rolling dossier, and not just authoring. The health authorities are also supporting the reviews of rolling dossiers. So it is not that they will wait for you to have all the 10 things, then only they will start the review. There are possibilities. If the market requires a product, if unmet market needs are there, if there is a product which is very much urgently required for patients, the authorities are doing priority review. They are assessing dossiers, even the protocols and everything, so that you do the things right first time. So it's not that, okay, they will review it once you've done it and they say, sorry, this is mistake, you must have done this study also. Now they're reviewing protocols, they are giving you comments so that you can do the things right first time. Yeah. Then we talk about the manufacturing sector, a very interesting, understated sector in India. People feel that manufacturing team, what they are doing, so we talk about glamorous professions like, whether it is regulatory affairs or intellectual property or pharmacovigilance. But yeah, the manufacturing, which was traditionally the backbone of the industry, considered the backbone of the industry, and manufacturing was at one time a very like, sought after profession along very many years ago. So now I think it has reclaimed its importance. Lot of things are required in the manufacturing sectors, and believe you me, when we talk about manufacturing, it is not just making of tablets. We are talking about biotech products, biosimilars, we are talking about medical devices, we are talking about APIs, again, parallel development, sequential development. So many things are there. So yes, lot of things are happening in the manufacturing domain also. Automation, smart manufacturing, use of robotics, again AI driven, where we talk about collection of all the data and learning from it, how to bring efficiencies into the manufacturing sectors, operational excellence. So all these are the areas which are evolving in the manufacturing sector. We are talking about digital batch records. So there are companies who have come up with the software, how to convert all the batch records digitally, and so that, it is all happening live, and all the data is getting collected, it is getting analyzed by the system. So that is there. And we are, another approach if we talk about, is continuous validation. So what happens for the young team here is that when a product is developed in the R&D, it is a very small scale product. It could be 100 grams, it could be 1,000 tablets, 500 tablets. But will it be commercially viable or feasible to make the product in manufacturing? So for that reason, a scale up is done. So you can do, say, from 100 grams, you develop it to 500 grams, or maybe 5 kg, or maybe 50 kg. So these are the kind of scale ups you do at the manufacturing location. Then you validate the process, because every time the product should be the same. So it should not happen that today your tablet is, I'm giving a very basic example, today it is white, and tomorrow when you develop a product, it becomes off white, or it has a slightly different tinge, or it is having different impurities, or the assay is not adequate. So that is why you have to do a process validation, so that whenever you make the product, it is manufactured in the same way and yields the same result at the end. So that is called process validation. So the traditional approach was that you develop the product, do 3 batches validation, and that's it. Your product is, validation is done. But then there are a lot of changes which happen in the life cycle. You may change the source of excipient, you may add a new batch size to the product. So again, you will do some part of the validation, sometimes, So now we are talking about continuous validation process, so that the processes remain robust throughout the life cycle. So these are all the new principles which we are talking about, learning from what where we were and where we want to be. So these new changes are happening in the manufacturing sector, and the complexity is more when we talk about different kind of products, like, if it's a sterile product, or if it is a medical device, or if it is like, API with, say, 50 steps of making an API versus a 10 steps to make an API. So that's the kind of complexity around the manufacturing areas. Another area in the in the pharma industry is the quality control and quality assurance. They ensure that the whole quality of the product is remains good, okay, always. So that is what they do, is that they would test the materials. It's important to do the raw material testing, the in-process checks, and once your product is manufactured, the batch release is done, the stability studies are done to ensure that whatever shelf life or expiry date you are claiming for your product, the data supports that, yes, okay, this product will remain stable for 24 months or 36 months. So those studies are carried out, right? So the whole objective is now the focus is that quality is to be built into the process, not tested at the end. It is not that, okay, you tested a batch and the batch result was good, it passed the specification, so the product is good. No, it is, that would be just testing. Okay, but if you've not built the quality right from the beginning, then it is only a chance that the product may pass or a chance that a product may fail. So, but if you are building the quality right from product development, validation, right specifications, validated methods, everything you are using, then if you get the result which is passing, then it is a concrete result which will say that yes, the product is passing because it has the right quality. It is not just by chance that it has passed, right? So that is why we say quality is built into the process. And built into the process, we don't talk about it is only written on the papers. Actually, by action we are talking about. So this is quality control and quality assurance. And here the new trends which are appearing are again AI based trend analysis, predictions, how you can predict the stability data, based on stability data, how you can predict the shelf life of a product. Quality by design, which we were talking about as a principle for product development. Now we are talking about QBD across life cycle of a product. Continuous review is replacing the periodic review which we used to do earlier. So if we used to do, say, in quality assurance, there is one every year you are supposed to review the quality of the product that you are manufacturing routinely. We call it APQR, annual product quality review, which is very a traditional method for all the pharma industry. But now we are talking about it should be a continuous review. It should not happen every year. You should be reviewing all the data regularly, that what is happening, is there any alert or something like that. So that's where we are, the processes and the systems are evolving. Then we move to packaging and labeling. A huge development is going on in this area. It is, if we talk about packaging, a simple scenario is primary and secondary packaging. Primary would be the blister foil, blister, which you see, the tablet blister, and secondary packaging would be the carton in which you will find the product. So this is a traditional way. We have a serialization process. We are doing multilingual labeling. So these are a lot of challenges which the packaging industry face. So now what is happening is we are talking about dynamic labeling. It's not a static one that, okay, once the label is made, it is available. Now we are talking about it is changing as per the requirement, as per the new safety updates. There should be tamper evidence used, anti-counterfeiting measures, sustainable material. We are talking about improved patient engagement. So it's not just that the patient does not need to know anything. Now the patient needs to know, they have to be qualified to read and understand the product that they are taking. So all measures are taken by industry as well as the regulatory authorities, so that the packaging is such that the patient can understand what they are taking, and say, for example, what are the side effects, what will happen if I take this product, if I take some other medicine alongside, what will happen. So all these things are gaining more and more momentum. Lot of things are happening in this domain as well in the packaging section. And one more area which maybe you would not have thought so much about, in I would not have thought about when I was in college, a long, long time back. So is a good distribution practices, where warehouse, transportation, cold chain management, these all play a role in the warehousing. Okay, but here also lot of improvements are happening, or like automation, robotics, temperature monitoring, like alerts are there. If some excursion is happening, there would be an alert. There is predictive and use of analytics in determining what will happen next. Okay, if there was an excursion, what could have happened on the product quality. Then we are talking about digital supply chain management. So a lot of developments are happening in this area as well. So this is also like one of the pharma areas which I would like to highlight to the young team here, to explore the professions. And post marketing surveillance, yeah, as Dr. M has already covered all these things. So yes, it's a very important part of the pharma industry, like, once the product is approved, we have to keep the monitor the safety of the product throughout the life cycle. And when we say life cycle, till the expiry of the last batch on the market we are talking about. So it's not that, okay, if I talk about a product being discontinued, then my job is over. It is discontinued, but till that last batch, the expired batch, till the expiry is not happening of that product, I will still have to monitor the safety of that product in the market. So that's the kind of obligation we as industry have, and the regulators want us to do. So here a lot of automation is happening, different tools are coming up. Again, predictive analysis for risk management exercises. We are talking about global safety data harmonization. So it's again like, very much evolving discipline. So to conclude, I would like to say, and since most of my presentation has been focused on regulatory affairs, so as a good regulatory person, what you can think of your role in the evolving times ahead of us. And some of these will be new, but some of these things are remaining there since long as a good regulatory person. The first thing that I would like to say is that you should have a thorough knowledge of whatever you do. So it is not just that, it is going by a book, just what is written in the guideline. Yes, in we traditionally had an education system where you read, you secure marks, you qualify, you get distinction. Based on that, you get admission into a good college, and then based on that, you get into industry. Yes, that was, I'm not saying that there's something wrong with this approach, but what I would like the young team of today is that you should focus on developing yourself, spending time and knowing a thing, not just securing marks, but knowing something, like, in its true sense. When you read, say, let's about tablet compression, let's say you are reading about tablet compression. So what is tablet compression? It is not that, you are reading a few lines from the book Lackman and whichever reference books you read, and that's it. You should actually know how a tablet is compressed, when it will be compressed properly, and when you will have issues with that. So anything you read, you have to understand that. That is how you will get the thorough knowledge. And if you want to join industry as a capable person to begin with, as a skilled person to join the industry, then you must know about all these topics which will be used in the regulatory affairs profession, or whichever profession you will go into. Say if you want to get into product development, you have to understand the basics of product development. If you want to go for pharmacovigilance, have to understand how pharmacovigilance works, what are the different things around that. You have to understand all the guidelines. And then we talk about a subject matter expertise, so which will be the subject that interests you, or which is where you want to build your career. That subject matter expertise you have to know. You have to understand the technology behind the things that you plan to do. You have to understand. And in technology today, we are talking about AI also. It is not just chat gpt. Please don't think that chat gpt is AI. No, AI is a lot more than that. Yeah. So you have to understand the technology behind the things, including AI, as I said. And you have to think about not just being a doer in the whole scenario. As a good regulatory person, you have to develop the capability that you can guide the people to do certain things. You can coordinate the whole activity surrounding a product development, product filing, product approval, launch, anything, whichever area in which you may work. You should have developed the capabilities of coordinating, because if you can't coordinate, you can't get all the data. You have to be resourceful, and then only you can submit the things on time. You can represent the company in the best manner. So you should develop that capability of guiding others, coordinating on certain things. And whenever in doubt, always think that my patient is the first priority. Nothing else is important. My job is not important. Okay, so for the fear of losing a job, uh, we should not lose sight of the patient. Okay, so for everything, the patient safety is the most important. If you do everything keeping that in mind, all decisions will be right. And being a good regulatory person, you also need to drive speed and efficiency. So it is not that, with speed, okay, we will do unfinished business and finish the task. No, we have to efficiently do the job. So we have to deliver what we were supposed to do, but in a speedy manner. Okay, we don't have the whole life to take care. We don't have years to deliver what we were supposed to. So yes, you have to develop speed, you have to develop efficiencies, you have to do right things, for the patient. Develop the knowledge, the skill sets, like, whether it is ICH guidelines, whether it is US regulatory, Europe regulatory, India regulatory, any other country, Russia, CIS, Turkey, name it. So you have to develop. You have not only geographies. You have to talk about how the products are developed, whether it is a pharmaceutical, it's a biotech product, it's a medical device product, and the peripheral areas, like, beyond regulatory, what is there, intellectual property. We have to talk about, like, pharmacovigilance, GMP. So understanding all the peripheral areas as well. So a lot of work has to be done. So yeah, I mean, as being a regulatory person, you'll have to develop all these facets into your personality. Yeah. So in the end, I would like to say, from compliance policies, which we talked about, like, just follow rules. Compliance is just, the baseline, okay, where you are complying. Good manufacturing practices, if we talk about why it is saying good, it is not saying excellent manufacturing practices, because that is the basic minimum that some facility should have. So similarly, compliance is the basic minimum something should have. Okay, from there you have to talk about the highest level of, quality. You have to talk about strategic partnership with innovation and patient safety always. So that's all from my side. And please feel free to write to us, or connect with us anytime you need any support or any guidance. Yeah, so thanks so much. Yeah.
Thank you for your kind words, ma'am.
Moving on to the panel session. On the panel, we have Dr. Ahmed, the Managing Director of P Vigilant. He is a distinguished medical and pharmaceutical professional with extensive international experience in pharmacovigilance, patient safety, medical affairs, and clinical research. Dr. Bharti Khanna. She is a seasoned pharmaceutical professional with over 30 years of experience across research and development, global regulatory affairs, pharmacovigilance, GMP and compliance, project management, and pharmaceutical manufacturing. And a special panelist for today, Ms. Priya Mahajan. She is a partner patent research and analysis expert with nearly 2 decades of experience in patent search analysis, IP strategy across pharmaceutical, biotechnology, and chemistry domains. Her expertise includes prior art searches, freedom to operate, infringement analysis, patient landscaping, mapping, white space analysis, licensing, IP due diligence, and competitive intelligence. She also has a strong experience in patent drafting, office action responses, and chemical structure searches. Ms. Mahajan has led multidisciplinary life science teams and has been instrumental in building customized IP processes and business objectives. We now move towards the panel discussion, which is centered on pharma carriers, specifically non-traditional global-facing roles. We invite Dr. Maimuma Akhtar ma'am as a moderator to begin the panel discussion. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Bhavika. Thank you so much. So it was interesting to hear both the speakers, and I would say after listening to our distinguished speakers today, one message comes through very clearly. Global pharmacy carriers are not out of reach. They are built step by step, starting right from your classroom only. That means from the early age, when you think of your pharma career, you have to start thinking about it. It cannot start all of a sudden one day. So we have learned that pharmacovigilance is not limited to adverse event reporting, but it is extended to a continuous commitment to patient safety across the product life cycle. Regulatory affairs, as discussed today, goes far beyond product approval. We could make that it's not only about getting your product approved and then launching in it in market. It includes post production responsibilities as well. Even the storage conditions, cold chain integrity, or as madam said, supply chain control. And we had already a long discussion on post market surveillance, so they all come under the regulatory affairs as such itself. These are all made to ensure that quality, safety, and efficacy reaches to the patient. So, what is especially encouraging for our student is that none of our speakers spoke about shortcuts. So, there is no shortcut to success, I would say. So this emphasize on skill, consistency, awareness about your subject, awareness about whatever area you want to go into. If you want to go into pharmacovigilance, you have to be very aware about all the related aspect, a regulatory system, and systems thinking, how it actually takes everything. So thank you so much, all the panelists, for giving us your valuable time to be with us and enlightening our students. So I have few questions in my mind, and those questions have also been come like they have come across from the students also. Though most of the questions like what skill sets and what is the like gap in getting these kind of positions have been answered, like what should be done at entry level. I have some things which still needs to be can say answered from the students perspective. So, Dr. Ahmed, I would like to know that without access to industry database or tools, what practical methods can students use to build PV competence? Yeah, Dr. Ahmed, am I audible?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, right now.
Okay, I was muted. Okay, thank you so much for your question. I want to highlight that pharmacovigilance, it's a discipline that has many activities. One of them is a case processing,
Okay.
but the rest of pharmacovigilance is not case processing. So sometimes you work in a company and you have zero adverse events or one every month, but still you are so busy. You are doing a lot of other stuff. So pharmacovigilance is about different ways of communications, including internal interactions, trainings, compliance to requirements, update of documents like SOPs, like master file, reconciliations, sometimes weekly or monthly, doing local literature search, regulatory intelligence, ensuring proper archiving of data, update, having a checklist, being ready for inspection or audit, having your job description and CV and all your documents are in place. So even if you don't have access to a database, you still can learn a lot of stuff. Okay.
Right.
And by the way, there are many free online trainings. Some of them are available even on YouTube that are giving you or telling you how to make the data entry, the narrative writing, medical review, and so on. So if you don't have access, don't worry. It is not the end of the life. You can learn a big part of pharmacovigilance, but you may be aware theoretically how to make the case processing. Some, but not common, not available all the time. There are some places that you can have access to a training a platform. So just like a dummy, you can just enter a case that is not real for training purposes. So, but apart from this, you can learn a lot even with hands-on.
That's great. Thank you. So I would say that the students should be having basic ability of managing data. So later on, they can learn how to manage the data related to the adverse events.
Yes, and to be honest with you,
Right.
I'm not really good in case processing because I didn't do it a lot when I was a bit younger. Okay. But when I used to do some, I was fine. But when I became more senior, the juniors became better than me. Again, it's something that you can learn quickly and easily. It's not a big chemistry. You learned the chemistry in the college, so you can do it.
Right. The students are more tech savvy these days than we are actually.
No, trust yourself and don't underestimate your capabilities.
Right.
Okay. Focus on two things, your knowledge and your skills. Skills here, I want to focus on non technical skills. We call it soft skills.
Right.
Okay. All types of skills with a measure of communication, for example, skills. This will be very helpful. Knowledge, go to attend the courses, programs here and there. So you will be strong and you will be more self confident. That will help you. But don't underestimate yourself. You are just still young. That's it.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
sir.
I
Thank
would
you for
like
the
to add to that, Dr. Ahmed, very well said. What I would say is that when you join the industry, there are so many tools, to look at. It is not just, say, pharmacovigilance tools like, safety database or so there could be project management database, there could be storage database, there could be learning management system, the
right.
ECTD software. So don't worry if you don't have exposure to all this when you go, if you don't have that before you go to the industry. But I think a subject knowledge is important for the area in which you would like to go for. At least, let's say when somebody comes to us for interview, we would like to see how much that person knows about that subject. If it, very casual about, say, pharmacovigilance, like, doesn't even know the key things for which or she is being interviewed, that puts somebody off, on hiring a person, right? So yes, databases, let's say if supposing by chance you have an exposure to one database, but when you join the industry you could have a different database, like as
Yes.
Dr. Ahmed said, IRIS-G, Argus, there are numerous databases which are available. So don't worry that if you don't have the practical exposure, database is just one part of the whole activity which you are going to do. Focus on the others on which you have the ability to do the things at this moment. Yeah.
Right,
Please.
ma'am. Right. Actually, it's like the I would say more of attitude towards getting into it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Willingness to learn.
Learn.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, absolutely.
The,
Ma'am,
the, the passion, the
right.
passion. You
Right.
should
The
have a
passion.
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 Okay.
Passion.
You should
Absolutely.
have an internal self motivation because
Yes.
in the career, no one will motivate you. You have to
Absolutely.
motivate yourself or leave yourself to get down. So don't do the
Yeah.
second.
Right.
Be self motivated.
Ma'am, I have a question for you.
Yeah,
That
sure.
matlab like for a student perspective or even which are not in regulatory, they may also think it that way, that it's often perceived as a documentation heavy because it's very complex kind of thing. So what is the actual intellectual and strategic complexity that is involved in the role?
Yeah, very interesting question. Yeah. So if you want me to say that it is not documentation heavy, then I mean, I'll not say it is documentation heavy. So regulatory is all about documents. And having said that, it's not like a postman or like, that you only are taking care of putting the papers together. Yeah. So if you want to build a career where you have to focus on a lot of review of data, planning of things, strategic thinking. So I'll just give you an example that, let's say that today you are making product tablet dossiers today. I'm just this is somebody who's already in regulatory affairs. Now if they have to sorry, there is some wedding going on in the background, so there can be some background noise. Yeah. So if you now want to go for sterile product dossier. So you will have to understand the nitty-gritty of everything, how this product will be filed, what data will be required, what I need from manufacturing. And understanding all those regulations and assimilating all that and coming up with something which the manufacturing or the QA unit will understand, and getting all that data, coordinating, reviewing that data. If you have to review certain things, you have to understand the subject. Yeah. So it is, yes, it is document heavy in the sense that you will be working with documents whole your life, all of your full life, if you are working in regulatory. But I love my job, so I mean, absolutely no it's because you get involved and you go beyond paperwork. So, but
Right.
if you just stick on with paper compiling this CTD module submission, then it will be a boring task. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ma'am, students like if they are aiming for US or EU market regulatory career, so what should be an ideal route or a path they should be taking? Like if
Yeah.
I'm, for example, if I'm interested in going to US, so should I be starting from India only, or then going, or there can be a different way?
Yeah, I think it's yeah. So basically, you have to do a lot of things, but starting small with, let's say, understanding the regulations is the most important thing. And regulations means the core documents, how the documents are generated. Like, what will be the content of a product development report, what will be the content of a manufacturing batch record. So core documents you have to understand, develop the ICH guideline knowledge. Then you have to understand the geography in which you want to go, whichever geography it may be. It can be US, Europe, Canada, whatever. So you have to understand the nuances of that geography. So let's say US would want like, batch record in the dossier. Europe will not. Okay. Europe would want a process validation report, but US will not. So understanding all these things, so local, country wise, and then like, applying all this and understanding about the ECTD skills, the CTD dossier compilation, then the ECTD. So these are all step by step approaches. But I guess as a beginner, I would say that focus on ICH guidelines and the core document, making your sound, you can say, expertise in understanding of all these documents which go into a dossier, then building on the geography, whichever you would like to. And then, of course, the skill set as a regulatory person. We want good communication skills, because if you are not, because regulatory is dealing with communication with everybody. Okay. So good communication skills are paramount, for a regulatory person. So all these things, also skill development, as Dr. Ahmed already insisted, like, that is a very important part of being a regulatory person. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm sure the students have got clarity on what to do next. We have with us Madam Priya also, and it is pleasure, ma'am, having you with us today. Um,
Thank
though
you.
we have a lot of information about IP, IPR, but many students find patent research intimidating and assume it requires a legal background. So, what's the simplest entry point for students to explore patent analysis and IP related careers while still in academia, like they are in their graduation? What should be they doing actually if they are interested? First, they need to understand what IP related field is.
Yes. So the first question comes, what is IP? So
Right.
IP is the intellectual property, as the word suggests. It is something which is there. It's an intangible asset which is converted into a tangible asset through a certain way of getting some rights. So that is usually governed by patent offices, trademark offices, or other aspects. But considering as an entry point for pharma students, so when I also entered this field at that time in 1990, around 2004 2005, IP was not at all in existence. Very few work was done, very few firms were available. So IP as a start point, I would say legal is not that much required for the start. But going forward, along with your basic technical skills, so it's a techno legal, I would say, requirement. The lawyers can enter into IP anytime, but they don't have a technical background. So, considering pharma has a very strong IP hold, which is required by the pharma industry from ideation, product development, and even launching a product, at each step, you would need IP to take a strategic decision as well in the market. So if we can start with as a IP analyst somewhere to understand what is IP, what is patent. So patent is just a small branch of IP, I would say. Other kinds of IP rights include copyrights, trademarks, designs. So pharma has design as well. We have industrial designs. We have other in the sorry, I would say the manufacturing industry. The manufacturing we just discussed. Dr. Ma'am Bharti ma'am also mentioned about that. So these all aspects are very important to understand what idea, how to develop a new thing. So IP is more related to innovation, ideation, and development of a product launch. To start your career, you can start as a IP analyst or a research intern, and at the start, and then you can move ahead with your legal knowledge, get into understanding of what is legal, what are the different legal aspects of IP as a research intern, into an in-house team or into a law firm. So these both of them, or into a knowledge process outsourcing as a consultant. You start your career there into IP. So that is what I would like to say. But I have seen most of the pharma uh, colleges now have their incubation or the innovation centers. There also you can understand what is IP, how to enter into patent, and how important is the patent for an pharmaceutical industry. So if we say any new product which is coming to the market has some intellectual property associated with it, and the process as well as the product, both of them are important. So that is where I would say the IP plays a role. And from the analysis, drafting, litigation, and technology transfer, these are four basic pillars that can help you enter into this domain at the start of the career. I know I might be sounding very non technical, but yes, to further understand, we can have a detailed understanding of what is IP, how it goes about, and we can have a quick chat on that as well.
Ma'am, I would want to understand that while, for example, if I am doing B Farm and I want to go into this field, should I be
Yes.
acquiring some extra kind of certification or degree or something like that that will help me understand better? Because, like
So,
in former graduate curricula, it's not much of it is not there.
correct. Yes. So I agree to that point. So for entering into IP, there is no access certification required. You, based on your technical background, you can enter into this field and develop your IP skills over the time once you start working into this industry. And this industry starts from you can enter into as a research intern, as a research associate, or as a IP analyst
Okay.
with a law firm, with an in-house IP team, or with an incubation center. And even the patent office, Indian patent office, is also holding some internship positions. They also offer a few months of training and internship to understand what is IP. So these are 3-4 options where you can explore.
That's great. So, students, this could be a powerful differentiator on your CV. So they should ask, have they ever opened a patent document? Because that will really give them understanding of what a patent means and how it is read, and then how they can go into it. That will really make them understand that.
Yes, definitely. I would say, but reading a patent document, understanding it's a techno-legal document, people face a lot of challenge in that. But yes, in the current world of AI, you can just enter a patent document and try to understand that. So, but yes, there are certifications. Even the basic knowledge of IP can be got through WIPO certification. So there is a World Intellectual Property Organization like we have for pharmacovigilance and for other regulatory teams. We also have a World Intellectual Property Organizations which give you significant information about what is IP and very basic courses on IP which you can do on yourself without even free certification courses also are there. So you can go there and there also you can get.
So I think we can conclude with one last question, and I'd request each panelist to respond as per their expertise. So, if you could give just one actionable piece of advice to a pharmacy student attending this session today, that something they can start doing from tomorrow, what it would be? Dr. Ahmed. So, you are on mute.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So the answer is quite long, not short. Number one, explore potential opportunities. It is not just regulatory or IP or pharmacovigilance. There are also different domains like medical affairs, like quality assurance, quality not just in manufacturing facilities, but in scientific offices as well. Explore and check for the trainings like total quality diploma, some ISO training, the ICH guidelines, Lean and Six Sigma, and so on. Medical affairs, usually people start as a MSL, and there are a lot of trainings on MSL. And if you guys can reach me also, I can help you in giving more advice, but the time is quite short because I am also a consultant for medical affairs. In addition, also there is booming the health economics. Okay, so health economics is something really booming. So check for opportunities or options until you land on something that you feel this is my career or this is something that I like. And then after you land on something, learn. So if you decide to go for pharmacovigilance, you can start with small courses like 1 month course, or start with something free online, and then you go to any paid course giving a certificate, having live interactions. You can ask questions, hands-on, and so on. In the future, maybe you can go for a diploma or master or something, but you can just start small, something easy, free of charge, and then you move on to make it bigger. Next, network. You cannot find the job very easy. The jobs are not waiting in front of your door. You have to go and knock and look for a job. And don't be frustrated because the first door will not open, the second door will not open, the third door will not open. You have to knock, 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 and don't be frustrated. Be positive. This is a life for all of us, not just you. Nothing personal against you. This is life, okay? If you got the first door open, you are so lucky, okay? Congratulations, and show me this door. I want to join with you, okay? And invest in yourself, in your skills. Years ago, we used to say you have to learn English, okay? And we say it again now. You have to learn English. Some people, because they don't have the good language and they have a barrier, and people think that they don't understand or they are shy, but they have a language barrier. As simple as that. Second, we don't want to say just to be good in computer and Office and Windows and blah, blah, blah. It's a past. Now you have to be good in AI. Okay? You are very young guys. You will learn AI very quick, much more than me. It will be very easy for you. And focus on the AI and the tools, not just ChatGPT. Okay? By the way, it is not the best.
Right.
So, yeah, we have a lot of perplexity, the deep seek, there is a lot. I have in my mobile, okay, more than like 15 AI applications. In my age,
No mobile.
Right. Think weight
Effort,
loss.
invest some money, and be self motivated.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Dr. Bharti Khanna, ma'am.
Yeah, I was muted. Yeah. Before I answer this question, I think there is one question from Mr. Dheeraj Kumar Gupta I would like to answer. So
Sure.
he's saying that if ICH is following, then do we have to file in different countries? So, yes, ICH is basically a core document on how you develop a product, how you do the studies. So, ICH guidelines tell you how to do certain things for the dossier, but ultimately for each of the country there is a different procedure which you have to follow and get the product registered. Some countries are having a group like, GCC, which is a group of countries. There is an ASEAN group, there is a European Union. So from one application you can file in 28 countries. Okay, but in USA there is one separate application. There would be one separate application for Australia, but then there is a route for Australia and New Zealand put together. You can file one dossier. So there is an expedited process also. If you get the product approved in one country, say supposing Europe or US, you can file in some countries and you will get a fast approval. Like in Singapore, you can get a fast approval based on the US and the European approvals. So that's how it happens. And so I think that was one part. I think he asked one more question. There were two questions. IP or patent need to be filed separately. So I think Dr. Priya, you would like to say
So I would say
patent.
regulatory and patent is completely different. They
Yes,
go
absolutely.
parallel hand in hand, but for patent filing, you have to go to the patent office. There is a parallel drug approval system which has to be followed in the regulatory process to launch the product. But to get a patent, you have to go to the patent office and file a patent. So it is
Right.
a
Ma'am, I
separate.
would like to add in a student's term, like for patent, that is for all the information which is like very new and you want to patent. And regulation is for everything, whether it is known, not known, it's
Correct,
always there. Patent
correct.
only comes in picture when you have something new to actually patent or get it registered. IPR, you have to protect your rights.
Yes,
Absolutely. Yeah. So from regulatory side of this, the story of patents is that it's important for us which patents are active, because based on that we'll be able to file the product even.
Right.
So that is, the filing timelines are dependent on patents and exclusivities. So yes, but the patents are filed in a separate office. But regulatory authorities also, like in US FDA, there is an orange book. You can see which patents would be impacting the dossier submission. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, thanks. And to answer your question, Dr. Akhtar, yeah. So, what I would like to say, I think we have, Dr. Ahmed has covered a lot of points, and I guess, there are a lot of skill sets which the people have. But what I feel is in India, we are restricting very much to generic product development. We are restricting very much to the CMC side of things, the chemistry, the quality. So what I would like that, the new generation thinks about developing innovative products.
Innovative.
They think about, like, I mean, why India cannot develop new products, so where we are lacking. So yeah, in the new product development, in innovation, whether it's a new software, whether it's a new product, whether it's a new technology, platform technology. I reviewed a platform technology by University of Liverpool for one of my clients, and it was very interesting that they developed nanoparticle which could reduce the dose by 1/7. So that is the kind of work which is happening worldwide. It's not just so explore what is happening around the world, what we can do. Of course we have some limitations, like, maybe the resources may be limited, but our dreams are big. So if you have big dreams, then the limited resources are also no way, they don't limit your capabilities. So do that, think on those lines also. But yes, normal career programs, yes, about, we've discussed a lot today, so I guess it has given you. But I think go for the clinical side of things, innovative products and everything. That's what my recommendation. There the crowd is less, I would say. It's less crowded. So if you develop something like, skill set in that area, I guess that you will have less competition.
So,
Yeah.
so ma'am, first thing to change tomorrow morning will be our mindset. And not to, I would say, not to wait till tomorrow morning right now to improve upon
Yeah.
our mindset that we don't have to go for me too kind of drugs. We have to have our own innovative products.
Yeah, I think that passion is what very important, in the sense that yes, if you are passionate towards your career, you want to be a person in the industry for which outstanding word is less. That is the attitude that you should have. With that
Yeah.
attitude, you can do anything, whether it is regulatory affairs or whether it is innovative products or pharmacovigilance or IPR, any field. The only thing is that go to attitude, go getter attitude, go to attitude in the sense that if somebody needs some information, they should go to you. You should be the first person that should come to their mind. That, okay, if we come to this person, we will get definitely the answer. And go getter is which you will, I mean, you will achieve anything that you want to. So with that passion, if you join the industry, I'm sure that sky is the limit, for you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, before you answer my, Dr. Priya, before you
Yes.
answer my this question, I have one small question. There is a term freedom to operate analysis.
Yes.
I just want to have some understanding that students will also love to know what is it about and
Yes, definitely. So I think Dr. Bharti also just mentioned that before the launch of the product, you should understand when to launch, when to file for regulatory approvals. So to add on to that, freedom to operate word, it says whether you can enter into launching, commercializing a product, whether you have that right. And if there is an existing patent, like we just mentioned, that you should plan for innovative products, you will get a treatment only after a innovative product gets expired and you come into generic entry. So that is the difference that we should work. So what is saying is freedom to operate is you should be able to market the product without entering into someone's domain. So for example, if we take a boundary, a flat or a land area, and you have a fixed area, you cannot enter that unless you take my permission. So that is what you need, the permission of the patent owner or the right owner to enter into the market before you launch the product. So that is what is referred to as freedom to operate. And it is important that before we launch a product, we should understand who all have the patents in that domain and whether we will not be entering into someone else's right before while we launch the product parallelly. So that is the intelligence we should do. And you might have heard of multiple cases also where you are entering into someone's field and then you have to pay the royalty. So that is very important study you should do before launching a product, and especially for the generic industry that we have in India. So we
thank you.
have to understand that point.
So, like once a patent is off, then only we can take that, and then it becomes free to operate
Exactly.
in that area.
Yes. Yes.
So, would like to know your part, ma'am, that what students need to learn or start learning from tomorrow if they want to go into the area.
So I would say I think most of the points that Dr. Ahmed and Dr. Bharti covered. In addition to that, I would say be very strong in your technical knowledge because that is what will help you grow further. So the basics should be there with you, and to understand that, and while in your interview you should be confident while answering the questions and be very strong in your technical depth. So ensure that this knowledge will help you further in developing, in entering into any of the fields. That
Thank
is
you.
something which I want to add.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, all the panelists. I would repeat one word from each panelist with what I actually picked up for my. That is, Dr. Ahmed, it's very important to invest in yourself. So if you are not, if you don't feel you have to invest in yourself, you cannot invest in anything. That's very important. And ma'am, Bharti ma'am, it's very important to have that innovative skill, like innovative thinking approach, that aptitude. You have to have an innovative kind of thing. And Priya ji, it's very important to have the knowledge, technical knowledge. Unless and until you have that technical knowledge, we won't be able to like make a crack anything. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time and being with us, enlightening our students as well. It was a wonderful having you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you for organizing this session, and it was a pleasure for us also. We interacted with all of you, and in answering your questions, there were some thoughts, which we also introspected to answer that, So thanks, it was a pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you for inviting us, and it was really a wonderful session.
Thank you so much, and we are available if you need any help, any support, any training. We can even make any customized training for you if you want.
Yeah, I'll be
Thank you.
definitely in touch with all of you.
Okay. Okay. Bye. Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye. Bye.
So we'll have formal vote of thanks and the national anthem.
Okay.
Thank you so much, everyone, for an enlightening and inspiring panel discussion. Your insights have truly helped us understand how the pharmacy profession is expanding and how students can prepare themselves for roles beyond conventional methods. So, we
As
have
we come to the end of the session, I would like to invite Ms. Adya Pasi, Chairperson IPS Student Forum, Delhi State Chapter, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, Bhavika. On behalf of IPSF DSC, I extend my sincere gratitude to our esteemed speakers, Dr. Bharti, Dr. Ahmed, Ms. Priya. It was lovely having you all. And thank you so much for making everything sound so less daunting and more actionable, making us feel that our dreams are very much tangible. And we talked about on literally three different diverse and important domains of pharmacy today. And as a final year undergraduate student myself, I think this entire discussion, this panel discussion, was so much clarity and confidence for all of us. I would also like to express my heartfelt thanks to our moderator and guiding faculty, Dr. Maimoona Akhtar, Honorary Secretary IPA DSP, for her constant guidance and for seamlessly steering today's discussion. And a special note of appreciation to my team, Abhinav, Ishika, Vanika, Bhavika, and all the rest of the team who were there coordinating for past 15 days, 1 month with the speakers and helping us that everything is executed nicely. And last, but certainly not the least, thank you to all the participants for your enthusiastic presence, thoughtful engagement, and for making the session truly meaningful. Thank you so much all once again.
I would request all to stand up for raise for the national anthem.
तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 गण मन अधिनायक जय.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining with us today. Have a great evening.
Bye. Bye. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.